Hello, this is our Sprint 2 presentation. The main goal of Sprint 2 was to move the project from basic login registration into the main subscription management experience. We worked on connecting the dashboard to the backend so subscription data could be displayed dynamically instead of a static front end. We added analytics related functionality like deleting a confirmation, behavior, and account deletion so the app feels more complete from a user's perspective. We also implemented and spent some time on improving the backend configuration and adding tests like performance related testing so our project would be easier to maintain and so it's easier for users to use. A major part of this sprint was learning how to connect front-end components, back-end routes, and the database together in a way that would work smoothly and correctly. And the tests that we made helped us achieve that. Now we're gonna go over the overview of the files that we worked on for this sprint. Um, Starting off with the dashboard. So basically, with dashboard, the dashboard front end is responsible for displaying the user subscriptions. It fetches data from the backend and basically dynamically renders it to the screen. And for dashboard.css, it handles the styling for the dashboard. So basically the layout, the visual design. So when we were creating this, we were trying to make it as easy for users to understand and appealing. For analytics, the analytics file is basically responsible for generating and displaying statistics based on user subscription data. Um, it processes the data and presents insights like the useful spending. Um, it tells you when you signed up, when you created your account, how much money you've spent in subscriptions, and I'll show that in a little. I'll show that later. Um, for confirmation dialog. Basically, confirmation dialog is a component where it confirms actions like deleting a subscription. Um, it prevents accidental actions. The so basically, it confirms with the user before doing an action. So this is a nice file to have. It's a nice touch to have for a project. Um, the confirmation dialog .css file basically is the styling for the confirmation dialog. It is going to ensure that the dialog is clear, it's easy to understand, it's easy for the users to see. The um, the where's the now we're gonna go over the API .js. And basically with API.js, it basically handles the communication between front end and back end. It's going to send HTTP requests to request and send data, modify that data. And this is like one of the most important parts of the project. Basically, it connects the user interface with the server. One of the most important parts of this sprint was the actual testing of our prototype. So I'm gonna be going over that. And for example, we did some standard testing. Basically, we verified that the application functions correctly. Um, it checks that the features behave as expected, and it ensures to help ensure reliability. And even when we run these tests, we figured out a bunch of issues with our project. Things like when you added subscription, it wouldn't actually save to the database. So we had to work on implementing a solution where when you added or deleted a subscription, you would be able to actually save it when you logged out. Because if you were to um, save a subscription, then log out and then log back in, it wouldn't show up once you logged out. So we were able to fix that because of testing of these test cases. Um, for performance testing, basically we evaluated how the system performed under different conditions. It helped us identify any inefficient parts in our application, and we were able to improve scalability and performance because of this. So this was a useful test for us to have, and we passed the test. The server was communicating with the database and back to the front end quickly, and that's what we wanted. Now, with integration testing, basically we focused on verifying the different parts of the system we're working correctly together. Basically, like instead of testing every single component by itself, we we decided to check the interactions between front end, back end, and the database. And we found out a lot of bugs with our application because of this test, and we were able to fix most of them as of right now. So with these tests that we implemented, um, we were able to ensure that all the parts of our system worked correctly together. All right, so now I'm going to demo the project and what we did. Um, so if I log, this is where we were last time, where we created the sign-in page and the login page. Now for this sprint, we created the dashboard and the analytics page. We're gonna go over the first with the dashboard. As you can see, we made it so you can see your active subscriptions, your monthly spending, and your average cost. You can add and delete subscriptions. So basically, I could create a subscription Netflix with a monthly cost of $15. Subscription. All right. As you can see, uh, the subscription will show up right here. And then if we go to analytics page, we're going to it's going to tell you information like your total logins, when was your last login, and when that you created your account. One of the issues that we have right now is that the total spending isn't correctly showing up, but I'm sure it's a minor issue. We can also delete the subscriptions if we want to. Delete. Then, if we were to log back out and log back in, you can see that it saves your data and it sends it to the server correctly. Um, and that's pretty much it. Uh, Mainly the issue that we have is with the total spending and analytics page. We were thinking of adding a couple more things if we have time in Sprint 3, but we will see. But that's pretty much it.